You see these smash and grabs? Well, the Senator John Kennedy of Louisiana says enough is enough. He is calling for hearings into this crime surge and isn't accepting any excuses. Kind enough to join us now. Senator, what do you want with these hearings?
I would like to ask our colleagues from the Biden administration to come over and talk frankly with us about, the problem. We can discuss the reasons for the problem, but I'm more interested in solutions. I have my own opinion, but which we can talk about if you'd like, but I think that people respond to incentives. Put that another way, what you allow is what will continue. And for a variety of reasons, well, let me put it slightly differently. If you don't arrest criminals, if you don't prosecute criminals, if you don't put criminals into jail when they deserve it, you're going to have a rise in crime. Why? Because the criminals are not unhappy. They can get to be criminals. And I think that's what we have in our country. I think the genesis of part of it anyway was the defund the police movement. And it wasn't just defund the police, it was also disrespect the police. It caused a lot of our police officers to retire, caused a lot of them to be more cautious, caused a lot of them to become disillusioned. And in some of these cities did cut the police funding.
And you're right, it did feed on itself. But Senator, in Chicago and even in California in some cities, the finger pointing goes to the retailers themselves that they're not doing enough. What did you think of that?
I thought that was nonsense. The first responsibility of government is to protect people and property. I mean, that's why we founded a social contract, and it's government's job to do that. And if any public official tries to blame it on the victim, shame on them.
If I could switch gears, sir, because there's a lot going on, only a couple of minutes with you, which I treasure, of course. The Federal Reserve is indicating that it's going to start hiking interest rates maybe at least 3 times next year, 3 times a year after that. What do you think of all that?
We've got a problem, big problem with inflation. I know President Biden's economists say that COVID caused inflation. And I agree with them that inflation is spreading. But as one commentator put it last week, people aren't walking around coughing inflation on each other. Inflation is caused by too much money chasing too few goods. It's caused, in this case, by the breathtaking spending and borrowing by the federal government. It's going to require our Federal Reserve to raise interest rates much sooner than we thought. I'm really worried about the impact of that on our economy. We don't have a choice. We've got to control inflation because it's attacked on all of us. But on the other hand, I don't want an interest rate rise to throw us into a recession, and I'm biased.
Do you think that's going to happen? As you know, the administration has already claimed you passed Build Back Better. None of that happens. What do you say?
Well, I think I think that's just rhetoric. I think Build Back Better will be cause a massive increase in inflation. I mean, the bill's breathtaking, Neil, in its scope. It's $5 trillion. It's $3 trillion of borrowing, $2 trillion of new taxes. I think the administration is really playing with fire here.
All right, we'll watch it very closely. Senator, always good having you. Senator John Kennedy, beautiful state of Louisiana, looking into crime, looking into inflation, looking into all of these issues.